Right, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are. This is Catania Alvin, and I've got a Golden State recorded. I do like them, the Golden State. We are taking back the House, Trump's shocking speech at rally in Wisconsin. So let's play just a little bit of this, because what we're seeing in a number of places around the world, but certainly in America and certainly in England, is very serious. And it really is communism pushing its head up, as I would say it did between the first two world wars. That's just my take on it. So here we go.
But these are people that are seriously radical left. Joe Biden is nothing but their puppet. He has no clue what's happening. And they're making speeches that are taped. Who wants to listen to Michelle Obama do a taped speech? No, you got to have her get up there. But we're doing a real speech on Thursday, next Thursday. She'll be listening. Doing it live from the White House. Live from the White House. And we have plenty to say. So Joe Biden and the Democrats have pledged to oppose $4 trillion of new taxes. So this is a group of people that think it's good to raise everybody's taxes. You know, in the old days, a politician would lower taxes, right? The great Scott Walker is here, your governor, right? Thanks, Scott. And Scott would lower taxes, but now the whole thing, I guess it's changed. It's gone inside out. Now everyone says we're going to raise your taxes, but Republicans are lowering your taxes. We gave you the biggest tax decrease in the history of our country, and we're going lower.
I think the first political awareness I had was maybe when I was about 8 or 9, something like that. And I remember of course I was in England, and my mother saying, they will tax you to breathe. And that was when income tax, as I understand it, income tax first came in England. Anyway, that's what she said. I remember her saying that. And I really didn't, of course I didn't understand it. And yet she said it with so much conviction, so much shock, so much horror, as that they don't want us to live. Well, we're just right in the middle of this CV19, and it's quite clear they have been trying to kill off as many people as they can. Certainly the people over the age probably of 60, 70. Well, I fall into that category, but I'm extremely lively, so I'm not prepared to pop off yet. Thank you very much. Anyway, it's this raising of taxes, and then they say, oh, well, we'll do this for the people, we'll do that for the people, we'll do the other for the people. And very often, in fact, all too often, that is completely forgotten. So people don't think about the taxes being raised. They think about what is promised of what these politicians are going to do, which doesn't happen. The taxes get raised, and you're less lumbered there. It's been going on for years. We go. I mean, I just think Trump is just wonderful.
But they're going to massively increase your regulations in addition to your taxes. They're going to confiscate the guns of law-abiding Americans. They're going to take away your Second Amendment.
Open the borders and let everybody rampage in. That's what's happened in England.
They're going to make America a sanctuary for criminal aliens. They're going to keep those sanctuary cities. They love sanctuary cities. They're going to protect the criminals, abolish American energy, and make us reliant on foreign nations, and force taxpayers to fund extreme late-term abortion. That's what they're doing.
Now, also, Britain will put people like Julian Assange in prison, and also people like Tommy Robinson, but allow perpetrators of rape to roam the streets. That's what's going on, guys.
They also want to abolish the suburbs by allowing far-left Washington bureaucrats to force the construction of low-income housing projects in every neighborhood in America. That's what they want to do. That's their goal. And we're going to let you preserve your American dream in the suburbs, okay? We ended the program. We ended the program. The voters of Wisconsin are very, very spectacular people. We are going to take care of you at every level. We are going to fight for you. We are going to fight for every single aspect that you have going. We are never going to forget you. You didn't forget me in the last election. So I want to thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I want to thank you very much. It's great. So we issued a regulation, and you know we ended that regulation because when we talk about suburbs and we talk about other things, we have taken care of about 84% of Obama regulations, executive orders.
84% of those Obama regulations they've taken care of. That's pretty darn good. He is an amazing man. I'm so glad for American people. Well, some wouldn't agree with me, but there we are. I am so glad.
You know, it's amazing. We knocked out a big portion of what he did, including the wonderful mandate, right? The individual mandate on Obamacare, which totally, by the way, by far the worst of all of Obamacare. We took it out. Essentially, that ended Obamacare. And then you say, so we knocked out 84% of what he did, and then they say he was a wonderful president. Why was he a wonderful president if we knocked out, in a very popular way, knocked out 84%? The voters of Wisconsin face a simple choice.
I want to say here that when you say something enough times, or you hear somebody say it enough times, it actually creates in the brain the connective tissues to that thought form. And so how we turn a thought form into a belief is how many times that thought is said. Okay? This is why the repeating of certain lies, well, not just politicians, but lots of people, particularly politicians, and I'm not talking about Trump, I'm talking about, you know, the belief about all sorts of different things, then people believe it, then they start to repeat it to other people, and so that it sets up in the brain an actual, that's what the thought then becomes a belief. And then you believe it. That's it. You don't even question it. Very important to know these things. And what I want to say here is do go into the description box below and you will see a link for Delphin World and also the Capstone experience. They're on the same platform. So go on to either of those links and look at Delphin World, because in our present world, where the dark, the evil, New World ORDER have set up the C and the V and the 90, then we have to use every skill in the book, and we have to know that our thoughts create our reality. So if we are coming from fear, that's an emotion, very powerful emotion, and so the fear, literally that uses that emotion that catapults that energy out into the world, and we set up more fear through the world, and we also connect with other fearful situations and people. Whereas if we set up a feeling of confidence, because we know we can control our thinking and we can actually use our thoughts to visualize the desire we want, the outcome we want. Trump had this training when he was quite young through a pastor that he actually had. But this was wonderful. So he knows that when he visualizes something and then he excites the people that he's talking to, then in these groups, then that is going to come about. This is very important to know. I want to just now change this, because I'll put the link in the description box, and do go on and listen to it, to the next link I've got, and it's very much in the news at the moment. And even my daughter in England said, "Oh, Mum, I've just heard of somebody being arrested." Right, well, God bless Millie Weaver, and this is Shadowgate, so we're going to put it on. The link will be in the description box.
if I were to tell you that a small group of government contractors were hired by government officials to frame the Trump campaign, set him up for the Russia collusion investigation, provided witnesses for the impeachment hearings, and provided administrative support services to the Department of Justice during the Mueller investigation? And what if it just so happened that this same group of contractors are behind the fake news in mainstream media, influence operations on social media, and the civil unrest nationwide pushing the defund the police movement? The Obamagate scandal only scratches the surface.
You mentioned shock value, that the shocking what the Russians did. I agree, we need to stop it.
I know that now based on the Horowitz report.
I'm not saying that you lied to the court. I'm saying you signed something that was a lie and you didn't know it.
Talk about a cover story. What really happened is much more alarming.
Yes.
Both parties are equally guilty of covering up what should turn out to be an even bigger scandal, Shadowgate. The tactical
So much has been dumped on the Russians.
and operational role the shadow government played behind the scenes, carrying out the coup against President Trump. We're going to be looking behind the puppets at who the real puppet master string pullers are. The material presented in this documentary should concern people of all political affiliations. This is about real players, people whose names never come up but should. Career politicians are definitely part of the Beltway swamp, even aspects of the deep state, but they are not the shadow government. The shadow government consists of government contractors, defense, intelligence, security, and so on.
I'm going to leave it there for the moment because I'm going to bring up Daddy Dragon's video, which he did on the English side of this whole situation.